All right, so we had the opportunity to discuss Stephen A. Smith in today's video. It appears that there are calls for Stephen A. Smith to be canceled, man. And since Stephen A. Smith is currently attempting to repair his reputation even so soon after the backlash, I want to break this down for you guys so you're all informed about everything. He posted pictures of his family on his YouTube channel. As you can see, people said things like, "Yo, the usual reaction when someone is being criticized is to start showing their children and family right away after being called out." Additionally, this is typically the first place people turn to when they are attempting to cancel someone. As you can see, Stephen A. Smith attempted to save his reputation and save face in light of the current events by posting pictures of his daughter and nephew on his YouTube page. Yes, folks, I noticed that people are demanding that ESPN fire Stephen A. Smith and cancel him everywhere I go on social media. And the reason this is getting complicated is that, as you may know, it has to do with politics. And Stephen A. Smith wants to start a different program called Straight Shooter with Stephen A. Smith on Sirius XM. There, he displays more of his political side and draws on his political arguments and other material. Additionally, people are beginning to recognize Stephen A. Smith for who he truly is.
Stephen A. Smith is a trained SEAL who's only good at two things: barking at black personalities in the media and clapping for his handlers. And I'll give you three things about it. Thing number one, Stephen A. Smith and his forehead took to his podcast to criticize Jasmine Crockett for her work defending Black America against Donald Trump and his fascist administration.
As I mentioned earlier, let's dissect this and dive straight into today's video, people. Therefore, I would really appreciate it if you could give my YouTube channel a thumbs up. It helps to support it. Let's go back to the beginning. Thus, Stephen A. Smith responded to Jasmine Crockett's criticism of Donald Trump because of the following statements she made against him. Let's watch this video right now.
Right.
Stop falling for the okie doke. Stop believing the lies that they are putting out there and the terrible racist tropes that they are constantly using to rile people up. It is time to recognize that while you thought the enemy was the immigrant, or you thought the enemy was the trans person, or you thought that the enemy was the black folk, or you thought the enemy were the women, when the reality is that the only person that is harming you right now, if you are struggling to make sure that you can pay your bills, if you're struggling to feed your family, if you are struggling to find a job, if you are struggling to keep your business open, or if you are a farmer, while we currently have record level bankruptcies by farmers, it is not any of those people on the list. It is the old white Nepo baby that is sitting in the White House that is causing all the destruction, pain, and problems that you are enduring.
Jasmine Crockett said that about Donald Trump, hasn't she? And given the political stance she takes, nobody should be surprised by it. However, Stephen A. Smith is about to arrive. He wants to brag about his support for Trump and go on his podcast, Straight Shooter with Stephen A., where he essentially criticizes Jasmine Crockett for using street vocabulary and argues that her remarks are essentially meaningless. You're thinking, hey, why is this guy going so hard? Let's watch this video right now, and I'll provide additional analysis thereafter. I've included a clip for you.
Here's a clip right here.
How Jasmine Crockett chooses to express herself, I'm like, is that gonna help your district in Texas? Aren't you there to find a way to get stuff done as opposed to just being an impediment to what Trump wants? How much work goes into that? I'm just gonna go off about Trump, cuss him out every chance I get, say the most derogatory, incendiary things imaginable, and that's my day's work. That ain't work. Work is saying, that's the man in power. I know what his agenda is. I'm not exactly in a position to stop him since the Republicans have the Senate and the House. But maybe if I'm willing to work with this man, I might get something out of it for my constituency. Because like Joe Manchin said, he's there to represent, or was there for 15 years to represent, the people of West Virginia. She's supposed to be there to represent the people of Texas. I don't know, maybe that just sounds ignorant because it's so simple. But it ain't that damn complicated. We make it complicated. Damn, it's frustrating. It really can be.
This is the same coded critique that's been used against black people, especially black women, since forever. It's respectability politics wrapped in his ESPN theatrics. Stephen A. Smith is policing tone on behalf of people who can't stand seeing power in the hands of black women. Thing number 2, Stephen A. Smith has spent years perfecting this exact same brand for ESPN. Always a shitload of smoke for black athletes saying what the white executives who pay him were too scared to say out loud. It's the same energy now, it's the same conditioning, but he's directing it at black politicians now instead of black athletes. He's not a political thinker, he's a weaponized performer. Thing number 3, Stephen A. Smith isn't analyzing power, he's serving it. He's always the loudest voice in the room that never barks at the hand that feeds him, only now the people that are feeding him are the 1% and MAGA. He's been trained to entertain and antagonize, making white audiences feel comfortable with black conflict. The only thing that's changed is who signs the check.
Stephen A. Smith is the Kevin Hart of the sports media. Smith is a plant. Disney and ESPN installed Smith at the top of the sports media world because his inadequacies as a journalist make him easy to control.
After learning of the backlash, I want to draw attention to Stephen A. Smith's answer. Let's listen to what Stephen A. Smith had to say on his podcast. That clip may be found right here.
To come on the air a little bit earlier this week after what I've had to endure this weekend. What I had to endure this weekend were an abundance of people talking a whole lot of stuff about me because they did not like what I had to say about Representative Jasmine Crockett. She is a Democrat out of Texas, Texas's 30th congressional district. Her work, and her verbiage and all of that stuff speaks for itself. And she has become, a big-time public figure in essence. Not just as a representative, but speaking out on a plethora of issues involving the current administration and the White House, et cetera, et cetera. And I made some noise last week because I had the temerity, the unmitigated gall, to say this about Representative Crockett when talking about the state of our politics in the midst of a government shutdown, by the way, that has unfolded since October 1st. Brilliant black woman representing over 750,000 people is engaging in verbiage and rhetoric for the streets. And that's fine when you're in the streets. How many of y'all bring the streets to the table when you at the negotiating table trying to get a deal done? How many of you are able to think that for a second that you're able to bring street verbiage to Capitol Hill and that's gonna work for you? You literally have senators and congressional figures on Capitol Hill on the side of the Republicans telling the networks, whether it's Fox News, News Nation, or anybody else, please, please, please put her front and center on camera. Why would they do that? Because they know it wins for them.
All right, so that's how Stephen A. Smith addressed the criticism he got for bringing up Jasmine Crockett's behavior, dude. That concludes today's video, everyone. Please share your opinions regarding the video from today. Remember to press the like button. Remember to click the subscribe button as well. We'll see you all at the next one, guys. Please